The goal of this video is to help you utilize your in-game settings for peak controller performance, customized better for you and your style to play to give you the utmost advantage in Modern Warfare 2. Use this video as a guide to fine-tune, adjust, and maximize your gameplay through the settings options for controller in Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer. And make sure to subscribe to the channel for everything Modern Warfare 2. We are your #1 Call of Duty team this year, and if you need some double XP, some good content, possibly a copy of the game, or even want to try and join Carnage this year, make sure to follow us over on Twitter and get involved with our COD discussion. That can be found at KARNAGEclan. You don't want to miss out. Drop a like if you're excited for Modern Warfare 2's launch like I am. I mean, I'm quite literally wearing green pants right now, and let's get right into it. Alright, so here we are in the settings in Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. I know a lot of people are very confused on different aspects of the settings, so we're going to go through these one at a time to make sure it's very clear, and you can skip through the video and whatnot, of course, to get the settings that you need changed and tweaked. There's definitely some ones that you should consider changing and that you should put some thought in, and also test yourself to see which fits best for you. So starting off, obviously, the aiming input device. We want either controller, or if you're on mouse and keyboard, you're going to switch that, make sure that's switched. Then the edit button layout. These options, you know, are things that you can change. It can be useful for a scuff or a controller that's customizable, but honestly, I would leave it as is. Leave this on off. For stick layout preset, this is again something that is completely based on preference. Most people play default. It just depends on how you play, but you can leave this on default. Controller vibration is something that I would recommend turning off. It actually can throw your accuracy off if you're your controller's shaking and whatnot. So I would just change that to off and keep it off. It's gonna feel weird at first, especially if you're used to playing with vibration on, but after a certain amount of time, it will become like it's second nature. Trigger effect is for PS5 controllers. This is something that you want off. That's gonna throw your aim off. It's gonna be weird. It's basically when you pull on the trigger, it gives kind of a pushback, so it feels like a real, it feels more realistic, feels like you're more immersed. Turn that off. You don't need it, and it's gonna throw your gameplay off. Now, for sensitivity, obviously this is extremely important, and it's something that you need to test out for yourself and see what fits you best. I would highly recommend, especially in Modern Warfare 2 and the way this game plays and the fast time to kill, I would recommend going for a medium to a little bit higher than usual sensitivity that you usually have. And those can be anywhere between 4 to about 8 is what I would recommend. Anything higher than that, getting down in this range is just not necessary unless you're just an insanely good player, which even in that case, the pros play on lower sensitivities typically. So I would recommend anywhere between 4 to 8. And what I do is I adjust it. As time goes on, I adjust it. I get a little bit higher. So maybe after a week, I'll switch to 7, and that will help out with, being able to be quicker to locking onto my target for reaction time. But I would stick to something a little bit lower than usual and gradually go up from there. Now, one of the most important features in the settings for aiming in recent Call of Duty games, we've seen this since Modern Warfare 2019, is ADS sensitivity multiplier. And this is something that if you're not changing, I'm about to change your game. When you zoom in, when you're ADSing, this is the sensitivity of how quickly your weapon can get from point A to point B. So the lower it is, you're gonna move very slow or slower compared to if it's higher, you're gonna be moving like this. So you'll have more control while ADSing onto your target. And this is something that you absolutely should be below 1.0, no matter. Now you can actually even tweak this to 0.83, 0.82 to smaller increments, but for the most part, I would stick to just the 0.5s. You can fine tune it if you so desire, but the range that I found comfortable is 0.75 to 0.85. Anything less than that, in my opinion, is too slow and is going to be working against you, and anything higher than that is you're not getting the full advantage of the feature. It's too quick. Unless you're comfortable with that, I would highly recommend though tuning this down to about 0.8 or 0.85. Sensitivity multiplier, just leave this at 1.0. This is for different things like ground vehicles and third-person mode. You can change that if you want, but I would leave those at 1.0. Don't do anything with vertical aim assist. Or aim down sight behavior, leave that on hold. Automatic sprint is something that you can change to either off or automatic tactical sprint. This will make you not have to mash on your analog sticks as much and will be a lot more effective and efficient when getting into that sprint immediately. So I would recommend automatic tactical sprint, but you can also leave it off if that feels weird to you. It's one of those things that's preference based, but I would try the one that's automatic tac sprint just in case, because you might like it, and a lot of top tier players do recommend this and do use it. Equipment behavior, you're gonna leave on hold. Weapon mount activation, you're gonna leave that on ADS melee, which is default. Interact reload behavior, tap to reload, that's the best option. And then this is for Warzone and other modes, but armor plate behavior, apply all. Trust me, that will be a game changer for you. And then for advanced, you're gonna obviously have target aim assist on if you're on controller. For aim assist type, this gets a little interesting. So it was actually interesting. A couple of friends, a couple Carnage members that I was playing with were on precision. And I'm telling you, in the beta, I tried it and I forgot that I had it selected and I was playing so bad. I didn't know what was wrong. And I realized when I said it that a couple of my friends said, why are you on precision? That is exactly why this doesn't feel weird. This feels weird to you and it doesn't feel like you have any kind of aim assist. And that's because precision and focusing are for more strategic, very specific types of play styles, and I would not recommend it at all. The ones that you want to be on are default and Black Ops. Now, default is going to be your traditional, and honestly, I would recommend just probably sticking to default, but Black Ops feels more like the traditional aim assist that you'll find in the obvious Black Ops series, and is one that honestly, I've kind of been liking. I haven't pinpointed exactly which one I like better, but I've been playing the majority of my time on Black Ops, and honestly, I think it is a better aim assist type. Now, aim response curve type, I would leave this on standard, but dynamic can also be useful, but again, one of those things that you want to switch between and see what's going to work best for you. The ADS sense multiplier is going to be left at 1.0. This is when you're focusing or holding your breath for a sniper rifle. The ADS sensitivity transition timing, keep that on instant. You're going to turn this off. Now, dead zones, this can be useful if you have stick drift. And stick drift is basically when your controller is sitting at idle, and if you were to notice the cursor or something moving, or for an example, if you were in game and your controller was set on idle, but your character was still moving. If you weren't touching it, you weren't touching the analog stick or aiming, but you saw your character was slightly starting to aim off to the left or the right, that is what we call stick drift, and the dead zone can help you a lot with that because that can throw your aim off a lot. That can really hurt your aim. You want to head into here and increasing the left stick. So if it's your left stick, or if you're walking, sometimes stick drift can make you start to walk randomly, even if you're not touching it. The left stick is gonna help you with your walking stick drift. So if you were sitting at idle and your character started just moving forward without even touching it, just slightly, that means you have stick drift with your walking. So you're gonna go ahead and move that left one up a little bit and find which one works best for you. And eventually you'll start to realize that it doesn't do it anymore. So keep adjusting until it doesn't. And then right stick will help with that aim stick drift. If your character starts, you know, aiming off into the distance slightly, that means you need to fine tune the right stick minimum and move that upwards. All this will be left at the current sets. Now, auto move forward, you want that on off. Tac sprint behavior, you want that probably on double tap. You can try single tap sprint, but I would leave it on double tap if I were you. Ground mantle is if you're running towards something, you want to be able to, using the jump button will make you mantle on nearby obstacles while you are grounded. That is what you want. The other option is weird. You're gonna have to like double jump basically. Then for automatic airborne mantle, this will help you if you're in situations where you're gonna fall, you will automatically, you know, grab onto the side and mantle. You want that on partial in my opinion. Automatic ground mantle, you want that as off as well. Invert slide and dive behavior on standard. This will be on movement. That's obviously plunging down into the water. You're gonna use your left analog stick. Your parachute auto deploy will be on. Sprinting door bash will be on. That's going towards a door. You want to be able to smash through it if you want to move like that. You can also still walk up to and open the door, but you want that feature to be there. ADS stick swap, that's going to be on off. This is going to be on off. Weapon mount exit delay, I have on short, not medium. I think that being able to get off of that mantle quicker. There's too many situations where I try to get off of a mantle and I get caught in that awkward transition and I get shot. I want to be able to move from that and maybe duck or start shooting back or move, you know, side to side. You want that to be as short as possible. So move that to short. Depleted ammo switch, you want that on, of course. That's when you run out of ammo. Immediately your gun will switch to your secondary. Quick detonation, I would keep that on off. And the rest of these options will be left on default. So hopefully these settings help you out. These settings are so important in these newer Call of Duty games. If you haven't tweaked them and made these fine-tuned adjustments, you're not getting the full benefits of the settings to make you a better player. I guarantee these settings will make a difference, and the ones that we discussed that need some tuning dependent on preference will make a difference as well. So have some fun with this, but hopefully you found this video beneficial. If you did, drop a like, subscribe to join the Carnage. We have a lot of exciting content coming out for you guys. This is your #1 team for Call of Duty content, news, challenges, which will be coming up, and videos overall. So with that being said, drop a like, have a fantastic rest of your day, and let's get on that Modern Warfare 2 grind, baby.